fine, right?
And in Coppa Italia, it wasn't suspended. The
Oh, okay,
suspension
right.
only applies to
So I saw the
league.
great meme of him
That
shouting into that guy's microphone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
so good.
You know who that guy is? That's his brother. So
Really?
for a bit of context, yeah, when he was suspended in Serie A in the game against Fiorentina, he was screaming like I don't think if you're suspended, you're allowed to talk to the bench.
No.
His brother had the earpiece and Conte was literally just like grabbing it and like yelling. There was a great meme that captioned what he was saying. And the caption was, fucking don't put Eriksen in. Don't put the Danish guy in. It was super funny. But going to the other semi-final, Atalanta-Napoli, 3-1 goals by Zapata, a brace by Pessina, and the only goal for Napoli coming from Lozano. So we got a question last week from our friends from the Hopeless Wanderer podcast. Is Gattuso's job on the line? So I did check. I felt like we needed more of the big picture than the last 5 games. So I checked the last 15 games in all competitions. Napoli have got 6 wins, 2 draws, and 7 losses. I guess that's the thing. You know, let's not forget that Napoli brought in somebody like Ancelotti after Sarri had almost managed to get the title from Juventus. But it felt like Napoli were ready to make that leap, to become like one of the top European clubs. They wanted to make a reputation for themselves in European football. Well, it's not really playing out, and these results definitely are not good. They don't look pretty. These results also brought a Super Cup, an Italian Super Cup loss. They got eliminated last night from the Coppa Italia, and their last win against the top 6 club in Italy was on November 29th, 2020. So I don't think that Napoli play bad football. I think that they actually have a system, but also last night, like, they look very inconsistent. A lot of mistakes in defense. Against Genoa, it was the same thing, kind of a defensive blackout. You cannot allow it to happen. And Gattuso said, you know, if it's my last chance versus Juve, I really don't know. You have to ask Napoli that. I am the captain of the ship, and it is only right that when things go bad, it is my responsibility. So he kind of took it philosophically. But I think that the game against Juve, unfortunately,
you can't ask for a worse opponent for a deciding, like, you know, your career deciding, like it. I always thought like Gattuso was always going to be that kind of guy who would take the responsibility on his shoulders, right? He was never going to be someone who would shirk away from it. He never did that. But yeah, I don't know if there's a mentality thing at Napoli, or if it is just. Because under Ancelotti, they did okay again. But yeah, you're right. They just didn't take that step up. Is it just about the squad? Is it a squad still in transition? Is it a squad that's been built by multiple managers and now they don't really know what it is or what they can do? Like, and the thing is, that cycle will keep repeating until you stick with a manager for a long time. When you switch managers a lot, you end up with this mishmash squad, where it's like 3 left backs and 1 right winger because different managers had different ideas. Like, I feel like maybe that's what's happened. But yeah, I kind of feel bad for Gattuso. We've said before that he's a better coach than we anticipated, which I think is definitely fair. And I kind of hope, I still hope that it does well. But De Laurentiis does he pull the trigger often? Is he quite a...
Yeah, I mean, if he gets mad, he gets mad. And I think against Juventus, probably is not asking for a win against Juventus, but at least for like a decent game, like a hard-fought game, maybe a draw, maybe, you know, there is a lot of animosity because they still haven't played the first game of the season against each other. This is the return fixture, but they still have to play the first game until the Italian league doesn't know when they can play, because they were checking the calendars and they're like, as long as all these teams are in the Europa League or in the Champions League, we cannot find a proper date to play this game.
So I fear that Napoli are going to get a slap in here because Juve are going to be angry about this, right?
Yeah, kind of. But let's not forget the last year when Napoli did need a result with Gattuso on the bench again. Oh no, that was Sarri. Sorry. Whatever.
Next one.
Next one. But yeah, no, we're actually almost done in Italy. I just wanted to ask you a quick question, Rory. It's actually a trivia. Match-winning goals this season. Who's scored more? Ibrahimovic, Lukaku, or Ronaldo?
Match-winning goals. Who's more clutch, as the Americans say? I'm going to say Ibrahimovic.
It was
Ronaldo.
A tricky question because it's Ciro Immobile, man.
Oh, because they would... Oh, right, okay. I just feel like he only scores penalties, but fine.
Well, a lot of them apparently were game-winning penalties. But so Immobile at 7, Ibrahimovic at 6, Lukaku at 5, Ronaldo at 4. Keep your eyes on Lazio because Lazio are on a 6-game winning streak.
Wow.
And we saw it last year, that when Lazio pick up their form, they do pick up their form.
Well, this is it. I think we talked about earlier in the season what they were lacking was consistency, right? And now they seem to be finding it. My feelings towards Lazio, but hey, they're a nice team. I'm just going to ignore the club.
Right. And then finally, I wanted to kind of talk about goalkeepers. AC Milan are trying to renew Donnarumma's contract. They are offering 7.5 million a year, but you remember who is Gigi Donnarumma's agent, right? It's Mino Raiola.
Of course it is.
And he said, that's not enough. We want a little more. So they are in talks at the moment, and it's looking as if AC Milan will give him the money.
Because his contract runs out this summer, right? Is it this summer it runs out, or is it next year?
I think it's soon, maybe next year. Yeah, next year, I think. But yeah, sometime soon. So yeah.
Speaking of goalkeepers, Tommy, I saw a headline that you might like. Musso is being linked with Inter.
Yeah. So this was the next thing that I was going to talk about. Inter are apparently starting talks with Udinese for Juan Musso, their 26-year-old Argentinian goalkeeper. And with Granada, which is the same ownership as
of course. Yeah, of
Udinese.
Course. Yeah.
And with Granada for their 27-year-old Portuguese keeper, Rui Silva. And apparently, Everton are in talks with Granada.
Well, we'll get onto that, but Everton need a goalkeeper. Need a goalkeeper.
So this transfer could be done for free, the Rui Silva transfer. But I don't know this goalkeeper at all. I just went looking up at his stats. He's got 7 clean sheets out of 21 games this season in La Liga. So that's 33% clean sheets. And in general, at this time at Granada, he's got 41 clean sheets out of 111 games, 37% clean sheets.
Well, at a club like, and with all respect to Granada, at a club like Granada within La Liga, that's a very good record. Like Granada have had a good, I think this season they're doing quite well. Last season they did quite well, but they're a team that are kind of slowly building their way up. So obviously at these kind of clubs, goalkeepers stand out more because they have to make more saves. They are like, there's more demand on them. But yeah, if any of our followers, any of our listeners know more about this guy, please get in touch and let us know what he's like. We all know that Inter definitely need to move on from the Handanovic era.
Oh no, this is priority. This summer we need a new goalkeeper. Like if that's not the priority for the Inter's board, I don't know what should be. Juan Musso on the other side, his stats are very good too. He's got 6 clean sheets out of 19 games in Serie A this season. That's 31%, and 27 out of 88 games at Udinese since he joined them in 2018. So the stats are slightly in favor of Rui Patricio, but once again, I don't want to make it I don't want to focus on the stats. I need to check this guy out. I will be back maybe next week with some more insight. I'm a bit of a goalkeeper geek, and Inter have a tradition of good goalkeepers. We cannot fuck up this one. It's fundamental. He's going to be our goalkeeper for the next 10 years, hopefully.
And the last bit of business in Italy, Christian Vieri is a fan of cricket. I am absolutely all over it. He has said that he wants to set up a cricket team. He wants to play cricket in Italy. And I am fully behind Vieri leading the popularization of cricket in Italy. Yes, I want to see Bobo, you call him, right? Bobo Vieri.
Bobone.
I want to see Bobo smashing sixes in the Stadio Olimpico when it's finally converted into a cricket pitch. I am so excited. I'm so excited. I saw it because he was born in Australia, right?
Yeah.
So, of course, he loves cricket. You can't be Australian and not like cricket. So, yeah, this story just really... I love it. I absolutely love it. And if I get to see Vieri play cricket, I think I'll die a happy man. That's incredible.
I didn't know about this. That's actually really funny. In Italy, that's it. We'll be reviewing these weekend's games at the end of the Euro review. Let's take our blimp to England.
England. We had FA Cup magic. The magic of the cup returned.
Oh, God, what a smile you have on your face.
Despite Arsenal whimpering out of the competition, you can always bank on Spurs to be worse. So here we go. This game. Now, I decided to take 2 nights off of football this week during the FA Cup, partly from bitterness because we were out of it, and partly because none of the games really caught my imagination. But Tottenham versus Everton was a 5-4 thriller. Now, I'm not going to list all the goal scorers because we'll be here all evening, but I went back and watched like the extended highlights, and neither team obviously could defend. Everton seemed unable to stop a cross. All their goals came from all Tottenham's goals came from set pieces, as far as I'm aware. And then the Tottenham centre-backs, despite Davinson Sanchez getting 2 goals, his second and third for the club as well, which just sums up how weird a night it was, if you know what I mean. Like, the defender who's only got 1 goal in his whole career now has 2 in an evening. So Sanchez and Alderweireld together just looked so slow. Like, Everton were behind them every time. Richarlison, I believe he got 2 assists and a goal, was absolutely tearing them to pieces. Sigurdsson, his assist for the final goal, the 5-4 in extra time, was a beautiful little chip over the defence. Lloris, I think for a few years, has been... When he first came to Tottenham, he was one of the best goalkeepers in the league, hands down. He was like one of the best goalkeepers in the world. And for the last few seasons, it seems like he's definitely dropped off. But
especially
then
after the injury versus Brighton, I believe.
Well, yeah, exactly. When you break your elbow like that, I think that's going to have an effect, right? And also, if the defense in front of you isn't up to much, there's only so much you can do as a goalkeeper. From the highlights, both goalkeepers were making a lot of saves, so it could have been even more goals. But Everton had Robin Olsen in goal, the guy who used to play for Roma, right?
Yeah. He's been around for a while.
He made some really good saves as well, but it seems like both Everton keepers are just a bit dodgy. They're just a bit dodgy. Pickford seems to have really short arms and just dives and pulls his arms in. Like, so they've got a definite problem in the goalkeeper area at Goodison Park. That's why when you mentioned Musa, I think Everton are going to want to stump up quite a bit of cash for a keeper because Pickford really isn't looking that great
as long
anymore.
as someone gets Pickford, because I think that he's on a bit of money at Everton. I don't know, like, if they can afford to pay him. I really don't know what's his salary, but I'm assuming around like 3 million, maybe.
I have no idea really, but I think he's going to be on a decent packet, right? And I think it's a weird one because Pickford was so good at Sunderland. But like I said before, when clubs are towards the bottom of the table, the goalkeepers tend to look better because they have more to do. Like, you're busier, and then of course you look better. Now I'm making it sound like he was never good. He was good for a while, and potentially is still good. But it seems like his form is completely gone. He definitely has a mistake in him. We've seen what he did to Van Dijk. He's really unpredictable, and Everton need to solve this problem quickly. But what a game. 5-4. And this is exactly what we love in the FA Cup. Lots of goals, absolute insanity, and Tottenham bottling it. Now, while we are here...
Says the Arsenal fan who's not watching the FA Cup anymore, right?
Yeah, because we won it last year, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Low jab.
Since Tottenham last won the FA Cup, how many times have Arsenal won it, Tommy?
5?
9.
No. 9. Damn.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't guess this number, but guess what I guessed? Jordan Pickford's salary, £3.12 million.
Are you his agent? You're just not telling us.
Okay. Shh,
I want a cut of that next deal wherever.
Don't tell anybody.
But we need to talk about, and I know I'm smiling as I say this, but I'm trying to be sincere. Is Harry Kane going to look back at his career and wish he moved sooner, or wish he moved? I think he could potentially spend his career at Tottenham and he is already a Tottenham legend, but be their top goal scorer, break Premier League scoring records. But even a player like Alan Shearer, right, the record goal scorer in Premier League history, the first thing people say about Shearer is he should have won more, right? He only won 1 Premier League. He was an incredible player. And I think if